Nowadays, there's not many real men who live by that creed. I turn negatives into positives. Everything starts to corrupt your mind. You have to learn how to fail. Failure? And so in doing so, I figured out every piece of human being in the world, because that's what I was going off of for myself. Because real men... For you to constantly win, when this voice over here, the real you, is saying, get the fuck out of here. You're nobody. You've always been nobody. And it's true. People don't hear that. That's the real reality of David Goggins at 24 years old. And then you had to create another voice over here that is saying you're better than that other voice. And you're in the freezing cold water. Both voices don't want to be in. But you win. And it goes from the water to the studying, to losing weight, to how you eat, to how you function as a man. Every day of your life, you're winning these battles. Normal people who only have one voice never created the second voice. The winning voice is the second voice. They have one voice. And that's just, I'm a piece of shit. And that's all they hear. I know the majority of people. I know what goes on in the brain because I studied the mind more than you. For you to be a piece of shit and come out of that, you don't just come out of it. You spend decades studying your mind and the human mind. In good environments, bad environments, stressful environments, patient environment. You studied all because you had to put all this together to create the mind to become successful. It was like God blessed me with this brain. I had to create a mind. And so in doing so, I figured out every piece of human being in the world, because that's what I was going off of for myself. So I know why you go on Instagram, because you just have the time, because you don't want to put that time into bettering oneself. You have to learn how to fail, because I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. So like when I was losing 106 pounds in 3 months, the first 2 months or first 2 weeks, it's like I was gaining weight. You know, I would lose a pound, gain 2. So I was just failing. I kept failing and kept failing and kept failing. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast, because my goals were to be a Navy SEAL. I don't have time to stay here and feel bad for myself for weeks and months and years, because I'll lose that time. So the big thing is know that if you have big goals and big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? And you got to teach yourself that. In this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this shit. I turn negatives into positives. So I would take it like, who would even think about doing this? So I would sit on my couch saying, who at 297, who can't fucking swim that great, who's scared of the fucking water, would have the fucking balls? Who had the balls to fucking man up, quit a job, and go and just put everything on himself? So it's how I started talking to myself and put myself in a whole different category, and that would fuel me the next day. And I just kept using that as fuel. No one would do this shit. No one would do this shit. You're the best motherfucker around. You're the best motherfucker ever lived. And I just kept fueling me with the right kind of message that I needed to hear, that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality. I failed, I go back to scratch. I have like one day where I'm like fucking defeated. But I started realizing this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. I had to realize this is part of my process. I started being able to take negative shit and be happy. There's no fucking hack, bro. There's no fucking hack. Yeah, this and that and saunas and all this shit yeah, it's great. There is no fucking life hack. How do you grow it? Do it and do it and do it and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna suck. And that's what I realized. Honestly, is they have the woe is me mentality. It's too hard. Life isn't fair. These things in life are not easy for me. You look to your left and you look to your right and you start to judge yourself off other people. Like if you're a female, well, she's skinny and she doesn't work out as hard as I do. And everything starts to corrupt your mind. You start to look around too much at other people and what they're doing. And that starts to corrupt your own dialogue. We are judging ourselves against too many fucking people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that bullshit, all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow and realizing I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline. And this is how I'm going to run it. About how you can get somewhere and how it looks. It looks very ugly. There's no fucking passion. There's no fucking motivation. It's every day of your life just doing. No passion. No discipline, no motivation. Yeah, that's so many people fucking use these words now because it's watered. It's someone sitting in the room by themselves and they figure themselves out. God, this is going to fucking suck. Where's passion when you're 300 pounds? Where's the motivation when you can't read and write? So how did this happen? I just did. I just did. I said, maybe at the end of this journey, there'll be something there for me. If not, I'm 185 pounds. There's no magic potion. There's no, oh, let me wake up and look at some shit. All those words are overused. It's all bullshit. Just do. A real person, a real alpha, a real go-getter, they ain't saying shit about nobody.
Correct.
That's why you will never, ever hear me dropping somebody's name, running my mouth about somebody. I don't know what you went through. I don't know what you're going through. I didn't wear the shoes you wore when you were a kid. I didn't grow up in your fucked up house. I didn't have your fucked up family. I don't know shit about you. So guess what I do? Shut the fuck up. Because real men don't say shit. Because first of all, we're too busy trying to grind and be better.
Correct.
But nowadays, there's not many real men who live by that creed. Real men ain't doing it. Real men don't care about that gossipy bullshit. Get to work, man.
Correct.
That's it. Just do. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? That's it. That's it. Period.